Here's what I think are the biggest problems people create for themselves. First, there's procrastination. It's dangerous because when we delay doing something, it doesn't feel urgent. If we let things slide a little, it doesn't seem like a big deal for the day. But if this happens often, it can make a whole year, even our whole life, a mess. If we don't deal with our habit of procrastinating, it can lead us in the wrong direction. By the end of this program, if procrastination is still bothering you, you'll have learned to leave it behind. You'll realize it's just too expensive to keep putting off things. Plus, you'll be too excited about where you're headed to delay getting there. Another big problem people create for themselves is blaming others. We all do it sometimes. Blaming someone else when things go wrong is something humans have been doing for a long time. Even when there were only two people on Earth, they started blaming each other. The man blamed the woman, saying she got him into trouble, and the woman blamed the serpent. Blaming others just seems to happen naturally, as our ego tries to protect itself. I remember making a list of reasons why I wasn't doing well. One of the things I blamed was the high prices of things. I told Mr. Schoaf that everything cost too much, but he corrected me. He said, "Mr. Owen, that's not the problem. Let me tell you the real problem: you can't afford it. If you keep focusing on it, like the price of things, you'll always feel broke, unhappy, and disappointed because you'll never have enough. Instead of focusing on it, focus on yourself." When I started thinking about what I could do instead of what things cost, my whole life changed. Meeting someone who isn't afraid to challenge you about your tendency to blame or procrastinate can be life-changing. It's a great day when you meet someone who knows how to tackle the same problems that have been holding you back or making you feel less worthy. Sometimes, we mistake what we see on the surface for what's really going on, and we mix up the symptoms with the actual problem. Another thing we want to get rid of along with blame is making excuses. Do you know how many excuses we have? A lot, maybe 1,000,000. And over our lifetime, we might use them all unless someone comes along and shows us the real reasons behind our problems. Until then, we might keep using more excuses to stop ourselves from reaching our goals. Here's a big question I'll ask you during this program: what will you start doing today to change how your life turns out? It's an important question, isn't it? What actions will you take? If you don't start doing something today to make a difference, things will stay the same. And if you want to know what the next 5 years will be like, just look at the last 5. Unless you make changes, the next 5 years will be similar. Now, here's another important question: what actions can you take today to make a difference? That's a good question. What can you do, especially when things seem tough? What can you do when everything feels like it's falling apart? What can you do when you're short on money, feeling unwell, or everything seems to be going wrong? Well, let me give you a big answer: you can do amazing things, no matter what happens. People can do amazing things, things that seem impossible. Even when circumstances are really tough, a man can achieve incredible feats. And even in the midst of disaster, a woman can accomplish remarkable things. You know what? Kids can do amazing stuff too, but only if they have something amazing to do. If they don't, well, who knows what they might end up doing. So, why can humans do such incredible things? It's because they're special. They're not like dogs, birds, or fish. Humans are unique. When a dog starts with weeds, it ends up with weeds because it's a dog. But that's not how it works with humans. Humans can turn weeds into gardens. That's one big difference between humans and animals. Humans can turn nothing into something, turn a little money into a lot, turn failure into success. And the reason they can do all these remarkable things is simply because they are remarkable themselves. Why not dig deep inside yourself and find more of those amazing gifts you have as a human? They're there, waiting for you to discover and use them. With those gifts, you can change anything you want to change in your life. I dare you to do it, because you're capable of change. If you're not happy with how things are, change them. If it's not good enough, change it. If it doesn't fit you, change it. If it doesn't make you happy, change it. And I dare you to do all that because you have the power to change. You never have to stay the same after today, unless you choose to. If you don't like where you are now, change it. You're not a tree, you can move. Just saying you want to change isn't enough. It takes more than just talking about it or feeling excited. These days, we hear a lot about enthusiasm, but simply acting enthusiastic won't do the trick. Sorry, it's not that easy. After you've gotten all hyped up, there are specific actions you need to take to make a real change happen. You might be all pumped up about lifting 200 pounds until you actually get to the gym. Then you need a different kind of excitement, discipline. Discipline is the key to moving forward as a person. If there's one thing worth getting excited about, it's discipline. Get excited about your ability to make yourself do what's necessary to achieve your goals. That's real excitement, not just being unrealistically optimistic. Hey, what's something you could start doing today that would really change your life? Well, it's hard to say. What will some people do today? That's what's disappointing. It's not that we lack the ability to do amazing things, we're actually capable of incredible feats. What's disappointing is what we settle for. Remember, the important question to ask yourself isn't just about what you're getting out of a job, it's about what you're becoming. Our growth and development lead to all the good things in life, and the habits we form, our ways of thinking, our attitudes, and our actions, are a big part of who we're becoming. Now, I know as well as anyone that changing habits isn't easy. But new habits form when we change. It usually doesn't happen all at once, but rather by making small changes bit by bit. That's how most of us change, we keep pushing ourselves in the right direction, forming 1 or 2 new habits at a time, until eventually, we've turned a corner. And that's where the good life begins, through these personal changes. You can't control the seasons, but you can control yourself. Instead of hoping the tough times will pass, focus on building your own inner strength and skills to deal with them. Making personal changes is mostly about hard work, not just wishing for it. Wanting to change is a good start, but now you need to turn that desire into action. It's about being disciplined and consistent. You might say you want to change, but you have to develop new habits and routines for that change to happen. Make sure your actions are in line with what you're aiming for.